Hi, this is Mato. In this video I will show the game between Bobby Fischer and Hector Rosseto. Game was played in Mar del Plata, Argentina in 1959. Opening is Sicilian defense, can variation. Fischer had white pieces and he started with e4. Hector played c5, knight to f3, e6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, a6 and c4. Like I said, can variation of Sicilian defense. Queen to c7, knight to c3, knight to f6, and now instead of playing the best move, which is a3, in this position Fischer played bishop to d3. Fischer made three mistakes in this opening. In pointing out these mistakes, I'm not claiming to be smarter than Bobby Fischer. Just pointing these mistakes because other grandmasters found these mistakes. But of course, it's easy to be general after the battle is over. Okay, the game continued with knight to c6, bishop e3, and now black had a chance to play very good move in this position, knight to e5. He missed that move. He played knight takes d4, bishop takes d4, bishop c5, bishop to c2, d6, and now Fischer castled. Instead, he had a chance to play stronger move. Bishop takes f6, and now if black castled kingside, his king would be more vulnerable to attack. Anyway, Fischer castled, black played bishop to d7, and again Fischer made a move that is not very strong, knight to a4. So black had a chance to equalize like this, and the game is equal. Instead, after knight to a4, Hector captured the bishop, queen takes d4, rook to d8, rook from f to d1, attacking d6, but cleverly black castled and he offered the pawn. Okay, let's check what would happen if queen takes. Then the game would continue like this. Bishop takes, rook takes, bishop takes on c2, rook f8, and king takes on f8, and black is stronger, better, because knight and bishop are stronger than the rook. But after castling, Fischer made a good move, rook from a to c1, placing the rook in the perfect spot. Okay, black played queen to a5, queen to b6. Fischer offered exchange of queens, so black takes the queen, knight to b6, bishop to c6, attacking the pawn on e4. It's easily defended by f3, and now knight to d7, offering to exchange the knights, and perhaps black is hoping to simplify and he's hoping for a draw. But Fischer found a brilliant move. He didn't take the knight. He played this extraordinary move. Knight to d5. As you can see, pawn can take. Okay, let's check what will happen if pawn takes. Then e takes d5, bishop takes, rook takes, and pawn on d6 is extremely difficult to defend. Actually, it's impossible to defend. That's why after knight to d5, Hector captured the knight. After if he captured on d5, he played e5, closing the position. But in this position, Fischer found a brilliant move. b4. The plan is to push pawn to c5 and push them all the way to 8th rank. Okay, black played g6, bishop to a4 was played. As you can see, plan is very simple, to take the knight and to push the pawn to c5. Okay, black played b6, strengthening c5 square, but he created weakness now on a6. So Fischer spotted this weakness immediately and decided to bring rook to a3. So this is the first move, rook to d3, f5. Black is trying to create as a counterplay on the king side, and now rook to a3, and now this is very sad move. Black knight has to go to very passive position in order to defend a6 pawn. This allowed Fischer c5, b takes c, b takes c, d takes c5, and rook takes on c5, and white is better in this position. Why is white better? Actually, this is a winning position for white. Why? Because white has a passed pawn on d5, a6 is extremely weak, and bishop is stronger than the knight. Okay, but it's not finished until Skinny Lady sings, and this is how the game continued. And now rook to b3. Fischer wants to bring rook to b7. That's why black played rook to f7, d6, knight to d7, attacking the rook, rook to c7, and now knight to f8. Black wants to exchange the rook and make his position easier to play, but it's not that easy. Fischer brings another rook to b7, and now rook takes. And now if it was your position, how would you take? With the rook, this is also check, or with the pawn? Well, if you think that this is better, you are right. D takes c7, and pawn is closer to promotion. Black played rook to c8, and now Fischer found this brilliant move. It looks very ordinary, but it is really brilliant. Bishop to b3. What is so special about this move? Well, this move brought black positioning zigzag. He can't move any piece now. Okay, let's check. If he moves the knight to d7, then of course bishop comes to e6, winning the knight or maybe the rook. Okay, so what else? If king goes to f6, then the game would continue this way, and white is winning the knight. That leaves that leaves only black with the possibility of moving the pawns. What else he can do? So he played a5, a4. So he had to push now pawns on the king side. h6, h3, g5, g4, f takes g, h takes g, and black resigned. Why black resigned? Well, if he pushed the pawn to e4 or pawn to h5, he would lose the pawn. And you saw in previous examples, if he moves knight or king, he is losing. Okay, just let's check this variation once again. If king to f6, rook to b8, rook takes the pawn, and rook takes on f8. That's why black resigned at move 37. Very interesting game. Thank you for watching this video.